It's incredibly difficult. When you're talking about VR chat, what you're really talking about is a world in which people of different groups throughout the world can gather and either create or to experience creations together. It's really, you can find whatever you want in VR chat, from the absolute absurd, like creepy stuff to the absolute, like, coolest people you will ever meet. You just gotta look in the right places.
Oh, it's
Here,
called
I made you a different. No, this one will be fine. This is much weaker, and I've got the rocks in there melting, so part water. This one is. I promise. This one is much lighter. It'll still get you very wobbly, but less so. It shouldn't put you to bed, but if you feel like you're gonna black out, you can drink this. It's just water from the hot tub. Drink it before the rocks go.
It's kind of like the internet. Like
It's just the internet, like in the golden age, I would say, where it was not
Yeah, like,
really
there's a lot of weird
regulated
shit
and
everywhere.
stuff
Yeah.
like that. So everything is just like, don't question it, just accept it, all right? Just don't question anything. Just like
Yeah.
look at it and just go away or something.
Yeah,
You
if you
can't
don't
change
like
it.
it, then
Yeah.
you're free to leave.
Just embrace it.
I guess. Yeah. Creativity is people can build whatever they want because of the little regulation, but there's also all bad things, I guess. Yeah.
How do you regulate stuff? I don't know.
Regulating stuff is hard.
Like in the
and
internet,
if you-
the problem is the
yeah,
second
you
like a
can't keep
state
kids-
comes in,
you can't
it is
keep
becoming
kids off the
shit.
internet either, right? You
You know what the craziest thing is? In the middle of a fishing trip, we've been fishing for a couple hours. Suddenly, we just hear, and so this space armada floats in from up above. So, for us, it's like we're fishing for a couple hours, and suddenly aliens are invading.
What's your YouTube name? So you can probably like cut this out a little bit too. Go subscribe to Humans in VR. Okay.
I mean, honestly, it's the internet, and VR chat is kind of like the biggest representation of it, at least in like VR standards. Take everything with the biggest grain of salt. I don't want to get too philosophical or like too deep into it, but I mean, like, things like this in life are so short. I mean, the fact that we're in this day and age where we can like have VR avatars, that we can like physically represent ourselves and have fun.
And also about the question you said before, so I'm going to go jump back to this question, but there is a lot of people that have like autism and that too, like in here, and like people that have like disabilities, or they're just like really sick, like in general, like sometimes, like not too often, not all the time, I see somebody that's like, like a sick person. Like read this chick's bio, and like it said in her bio that like she had like gas, like I don't know, gastrus, or like some some bowel disease or something like that. And I was like, it made me feel so sorry for her, bro. Like some of the people, like they're just not really healthy, and like, mate, yeah, they're just trying to, like, they could be in pain, sort of thing like that, and like that's a whole other thing. Like maybe it's to do with their health as well.
But also, I think any social platform shouldn't be a place where you disclose your health status. What has that to do with anything? If I am sick, I shouldn't be defined by my sickness, especially if I want to flee reality. I don't want to be belittled or whatever, felt sad for, because I have something in real life. What pleasure does playing the game give me then? That's what I don't understand.
You said you're making a video, right? I'll show you some. Give me a sec. This could be cool for your video, I think. I've got like a mouth tracker on, so I'm actually tracking my mouth. Let me see. Make sure it's working. So I can like open my mouth. Yeah, it's cool. I just don't like bothering with the hand emotes. You gotta like think about which fingers you're holding out. It's annoying. Really hard to say. I mean, everyone, I think will go into the ERP side of the game. It's like a really common, like strangely common. I think one of the weirdest aspects of this game is the kind of the way it alters the social interactions that you'll have with people. Like even in the past, like I've been very into this game to the point where it's consumed like parts of my life, and that creates a social attitude where you almost, like, you'll take up social conventions that only apply to VR chat, and that will be it. Because like it's like a separate world with its own social conventions compared to the real world, and it's like it's a whole weird thing. Think about all the people that sit in front of mirrors, like petting like different characters, and like there's lollies that you can pet at the mirror or whatever. Like that kind of stuff is like very sort of like that's completely normal in VRChat, whereas nothing like that would even be normal in any other game or any other situation.
But you know what, bro? We have no limitations, mate. We're gonna do more than rule this world. We're gonna change the world. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna change it, mate. I'm Thomas Shelby. You know I can't expose my plans.
We have no limitations.
The limits. All right, they're infinite. They're infinite. It doesn't stop. It keeps on going. It keeps on going. It keeps on rolling. You know what I'm saying? It keeps on rolling, and then after that.
Do you know the mathematical concept of infinity?
Alright, but also I gotta say this to you, yeah. If you see, alright, we're the original, like, or I'm the original Peaky Blinder, alright. Like, I'm the original. But if you see more Peaky Blinders, yeah, they're probably a part of the gang, or they're just like, yeah, they're just for show. But there's gonna be a lot more Peaky Blinders coming, eh? You wait until all the Peaky Blinders come in, mate. This place is gonna get fucking thrashed, bro. Like, we're gonna toss this place to the side and be like, oh, we're done with it.
It takes a level of imagination, creativity. You kind of just, you go in, you know, you have social encounters, you have encounters with people that are wild, crazy, way over the edge, crossing lines, boundaries. Then you meet lots of cool, nice people. You find a world that you like, you find something that you like to do, and you just kind of find a social climate you enjoy. It's very similar to the real world in that sense. If you go out in the real world and go meet random people, you're going to meet all kinds of people in all kinds of places. And this is like that, but, you know, a digital setting where you're not at any physical risk of damage, danger.
I know what you mean. I think I've always been fairly good at separating it personally, but I can imagine how some people adopt like certain like things that they might say, or certain things, or certain like, you know, way of going about things, and things they might mention that wouldn't be accepted at all in real life that they might say. I've always been fairly good at either not mentioning it at all. I completely keep it separate. Like no one IRL, like I don't touch them with like a 5-foot pole to VR chat. Well, it's more like IRL, like I'm a normal guy, I'm a normal man. I go to work, I'm like doing my job, I'm a guy, that's fine. And then like if I took like someone that I know IRL and took them into VR chat where I'm like an anime girl character, and like everybody else's anime girl characters for the most part, maybe not applicable in this lobby, but in general, you know, you'd have things where people would think you're a bit weird, or people would think they wouldn't get it. And I think that comes into it where I'm just like, yeah, it's easier for me to just keep this separate than it is to try to explain to people, hey, you know, I hang out with friends, I go to these raves, and we have a couple drinks in the weekend or whatever. Like, it's a lot easier to just keep it separate and not bother about it. Like, I have told, so I had, in college, I did bring some people that got VR headsets. I would, like, bring them into VR chat and just show them a couple worlds and stuff. And they were never really too harsh. It was more like oh, you're an anime girl for, like, 2 seconds. And then, like, it'd be like, you know, I'd be like, well, most avatars in there are anime girls. Like, you've got really sparse choice if you want to pick a male avatar, really.
Listen to me now, mate. Listen to me, alright? It's not as simple as that, mate. It's just not as simple as that. Like, you can't just simply become. You have to be the Peaky Blinder, mate. You don't realise this. Look at him. He just pulled his strap. Look at how Peaky Blinder he is.
Don't worry, bro. It's just for protection.
Wait. Now you got to say the line. Do you know the line? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
he's a Peaky Blinder in training.
Get fucked, mate.
Oh my god.
VR chat, if you want to get into it, it's a cool game, but watch out for the darker sides of it. It definitely has dark sides and light sides, just like the real world. You gotta be careful out there. And also, if you're underage, just don't play it. It's better. Don't let your kids on this game whatsoever. It's absolutely awful. Don't do that.
Kindness is contagious. When you are kind, you inspire others. Be the spark. Spreading kindness merchandise available now.